Hi, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to cover what is a breadboard. You might have guessed it already, what I have on the camera. These are different kinds of breadboards. So breadboard got its name from the actual breadboard where you chop the bread. So people didn't have access to these kind of boards back in the 80s and 70s. So they actually hooked up nails to wooden pieces such as a breadboard and then tied wires to them and then made their circuits. So later on, people invented this, and this is what is called a breadboard. So I'm gonna leave the bigger one for next time. It's just the same, but it's just broken into half, so it's just a half. I'm gonna take the smaller one because it's easier. Okay, so you can see that there are rows numbered, so this is interconnected. So row 1 has a metal plate. So all these are common. Row 2 is common. Row 3 is common to itself. The columns, however, do not connect. So the breadboard is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the bottom part is totally different. It's the same thing, and these do not connect to each other. The power rails are fully connected. They're like column wise and not row wise. So you have the plus and minus there. I'm just gonna make a short circuit here. So just plug on an LED anywhere on the board. I just did it here. So the positive is connected to row number 10. So you need to connect a resistor on row number 10 to connect to the positive voltage, and make that go to, sorry I'm blocking you, go to positive rail. Got that? So now the LED's positive goes to the positive rail. And now you're gonna have to connect the negative, which is on row number 12, to the negative rail. Let me just connect that. Yep. There you go. So all you have to do is connect that to a battery power supply. I'm gonna use an external battery power, and then use that. You might be wondering how, but I'm using an Arduino to do that. But we are not gonna code in that. We are not gonna code or do anything. It just gives us 5 volts. Just going to connect the power rail with the Arduino. You don't need to do this. You can just take a battery and then power them into positive and the negative voltages. I'm just going to connect it to 5 volts. Get that going to positive. And then get the negative. Going to the negative voltage. And then switch it on. You can see that the LED lights up. Take the plug off. I'll just bring a battery to show you guys how to do it. I'm still here. Okay, so here we have a battery to control the circuit. So we have the negative voltage going to negative, the positive going to positive. You can see the LED is so bright. You might be wondering why we are using a resistor. So we are using a resistor to reduce the LED's current. So the red LED often works at 2.2 volts. So this is a 9-volt battery. So you are giving it too much current, so the LED might blow up. So you want to be able to reduce the current for which the resistor is for. So basically it reduces the current by using the Ohm's law. You can figure out the LED's resistance, but usually 330 ohms or above is fine. It's just fine. You can also use 220 ohms. It's also fine. But I would prefer 1K, but I'm not using 1K here because I wanted it to be really bright. It might spoil your LED's condition, but I prefer doing that. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce you to a new component which is called a diode. A diode will allow current to flow only in a single path. I'm just going to connect it irrespective of the path of the current, and just going to give it supply. Don't be surprised if the LED is not working, because it might be in the opposite direction as I thought. So we have a negative which is marked by the gray sign. I think you might not be able to see. I don't have that much illuminated light room for myself. So you have the gray side. You will probably find it in your diode. That's the negative, and the other black side is a positive. So you will be able to do that. So the negative should not go to a negative. A positive should go to the negative. So you will be able to. Oops, I'm sorry. It's just the other way around. The gray is the positive, and the black is a negative. So yeah. Now connect it. There you go. Bright. Okay. So I think that's all for this video. I will be covering lots more breadboard tutorials, and my next one is going to be about potentiometers. Thanks a lot.